Wake up, wake up, and stay woke. Cause this is the Ball Hawk Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, aka the Ball Hog, aka the Mouth of the South. This is the place where sports, business, and entertainment collide. And we're gonna give it to you rough, rugged, and raw. So come get you a spoonful, like some grits with butter and salt. You know how we do it in the South, y'all. Make sure you do not get caught in your feelings. Strap on your seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Come on, let's go. You know what it is? It's the Ball Hog Sports Talk with your boy, B Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hog, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration, a.k.a. we get to chill on a Friday, y'all. It's Black Friday, but we going to call this week's edition Black and White Friday. What's going on? I am here with the maestro himself, superhero DJ John Quick in the building. And last but certainly not least, it is the majestic one herself. She is the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya. Sadate, straight jabs to the face. You know what it is? It's Friday, y'all. Everybody's out shopping. Well, I guess we shop from online now. But please allow us to be a part of your shopping experience. We're gonna get in, we're gonna get out, we're gonna have a good time. It's the Black and White Friday edition of the Ball Hog Sports Talk. We do have a missing link today. We've sort of been off our game. That's on me. I have not been bringing in our missing link guest, but we got a great guest today that's going to help us round out the trio. It'll be a foursome, and we're going to bring it on home like we always do. Before we really get in, anything you guys want to, at the top, say that you're thankful for. It is the day after Thanksgiving. I'll start with you, Miss Majestic Maya. Anything that you're thankful for?
I guess good health insurance.
Amen to that.
Because my foot, I had foot surgery on Tuesday, and man, listen, the pain pills they gave me, though, I guess those were Flintstone chewable vitamins because they do nothing.
Oh, so it's kind of like these haters in our comments. They do nothing to you. The pain
not at all. The foot pain is what's lethal. These old bitch ass comments mean nothing. You flush those down the toilet. All
right. So just be mindful of that, you haters. When you come trolling, you better not mess with nobody who pain pills can't even get through to. Straight up gone, Miss Majestic Maya. Anything else you like to be thankful for or express that you're thankful for to our superhero DJ John Quick, the maestro? What are you thankful for?
I'm just thankful to be alive, to be breathing, and thankful, to have family that's doing the same. Thankful for you guys, and that's about it.
Awesome. I am thankful for both of you and thankful for the platform that this provides us. And I'm also thankful to be a coach, man, to be leading young people. It is an amazing thing. And with that, we're going to bring in our missing link. Our missing link today I'm going to introduce him once he gets here. Let's bring him on in. The missing link is my man, Big Flo, who played at Notre Dame. And he's going to help us with some of the college football discussion, but he's going to come in for the whole show today. He's one half of the Big Flo and O show. Let me make sure I got this right. Let me make sure the thing is right. He's one half of the Big Flo and O show. There it is. Get it right, dog. I know you look spectacular this morning. Big Flo, how you doing this morning, my brother?
What's good, America? What's good?
Yeah, exactly. America and international. We got to get that international crowd, too.
Internationally recognized.
Yeah.
What's up, Miss Maya?
Hey, what's going on?
What up?
Superhero. Okay. It's nice to be on this side of the show for once, not just in the comments being ignored.
Yeah.
So, although I know better than come after Maya. Maya come back to your personal page with her comments 10 hours after the show. So
yeah,
I'll leave her.
She don't play around.
Well, I get out of Facebook jail next week, so the debauchery
still locked up?
Again. They got me for 30 days, old bitches.
You got a hit list.
30 days.
You still locked up, huh? I ain't think you still
I feel like
up.
I'm not a man because I have never got my stripes. I've never even been warned yet. I think I'm too soft.
I've been warned. I was warned and kicked off for 7 days in the span of 20 minutes.
You have a record. You can never be. You can't vote no more on Facebook, right?
Yeah, that's why no one's been. They're like, Maya, what do you think about this? And I'm like, you can message me.
Well, here's how we're gonna start us off today. Black and White Friday, and I said one of the things that I'm thankful for is the ability to lead young people. As the head coach of the East Orange Junior Jaguars, the Mighty Mike team, which is 8-9-year-olds, I am fortunate. But it's always been an interesting saga, y'all. I mean, it's been an interesting last few weeks. I had a coach/dad quit on me. And this week was nothing short of adventurous as well. So because of COVID, they had to change things, and I'll make this a quick story, but it does help us with the title. They had to change things, and Saturday was the championship, and we got the pause put on us, y'all. We weren't ready for the moment. My young team, full of players, the first time been in this environment, we were getting the brakes beat off of us. But I want y'all to know, I can't sugarcoat it. I want y'all to know that there was a particular incident, and this is why it's called the Black and White Friday edition, that sort of piqued my interest. We had an all-black referee crew, which we always do in this area, right? And the NFL did as well on recently. First time ever, all-black NFL referee crew. Maya, I know you're a fan of the NFL and all of the work that they've done for social justice in this all-black referee crew. No,
it only took 100 years, but I guess they're only a century behind the curve. But go off.
Yeah. So we too in Pop Warner had an all-black referee crew, but they showed out, y'all. Sometimes us, our own people, we show out for the white folk. We were playing this white team. Predominantly white team. They had one black kid. He probably was mixed, but he definitely has some ethnicity in him. All light-skinned, all white coaches, all white fans, and these refs showed out, y'all. So they come out first play of the game, they're scoring us. We come back, we score, but they call the touchdown back, 60-yard touchdown. They call back. So I go over to the referee and trying to get explanation for why they called the flag, to make sure that I wasn't telling my team to block it wrong, because that's a central part of our playbook. I go over there. He says, "Coach, I already called it." Black ref. I'm like, I get that, but I'm trying to ask you something about. Can I just ask you about the block? He said, "No, you can't ask me." I said, "I can't ask you a question. What kind of way is that to start the game?" Now they tell you before the game that the referee has the power to ask. He's the only person. The head coach has the power to ask the referees question. He then throws a flag on me for that exchange for unsportsmanlike conduct, because I asked him, and literally I didn't curse, I didn't yell, I wasn't close up on him, and he threw a flag on me, and then that was the beginning of the end. It got really ugly for us. And so I stayed after the next game because I'm so upset. I'm like, I'm like dumbfounded by this flag. And I'm telling this long story. I said it was going to be short. It turned out to be long. I'm telling this long story to say sometimes we try to show out for the white folk. Mm-hmm. That's the only explanation I can have, is that this man was trying to show out for this other team. I didn't do anything. I didn't curse. I didn't yell at him. And so after the next game, I done waited. I'm so upset. He looks at me like, this guy again. And so then I gave him what would be considered a verbal assault. I was like, the problem is you judge a book by its cover, and you judge it wrong. Like, this particular black man that's in this inner city program as the head coach happens to also have a Notre Dame law degree and a Yale MBA. You judge the book by its cover, you judge it wrong. I can engage in a conversation with you. Not to mention that as a head coach, I'm supposed to be given the privilege of asking you a question. But now you've ruined the game because you're trying to show out for these white folk. And I think we do that far too often. And I felt thankful that I had the moment to tell this brother that you got it wrong. All I was doing is asking you about the blocking scheme, but I couldn't even get the question out because you saw me as the villain, as the angry black man, as opposed to a coach being concerned about the blocking scheme that we have in our playbook. And so it was one of those moments where I was very, I tried to be resilient. I tried to be patient, but I had to be very transparent with him and say, bruh, you ain't got to show out for the white folk, man. At the end of the day, like, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Did you hit him with that?
After the second game, I did, but not during the game. During the game,
did he actually get that sentence? Because I want to know what the reaction was to that.
He was at that point. He was hiding. He was going to his car hiding. Which is
so wait. So Bobby, was his name Daniel Cameron?
Yeah.
Because it sounds very Shaboogie-ish. It sounds like
he lives in
Shaboogiville.
Don't be messed up. That's my homeboy Daniel Cameron. Nah, it was working for Daniel Cameron. It was a trip, man. Because and I know we've all been in that situation where our own people try to show out whenever there are visitors amongst us. They're a guest of a lighter hue. And so this happened to me in a crucial moment. Now, we were down 30-0 at halftime.
Jesus.
They put the pause on. Not only were they scoring, but they had a kicker. But the thing that I was most proud of is that I gave a speech of all speeches at halftime, man, and my team did not quit on me. We scored twice on the clock, as we call it. That's when you got mercy rule. When you're up 28, they just run the clock. But we scored two touchdowns.
Even during the timeouts, they run the clock. That's the worst part.
Even during the timeouts.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
But we scored 2 times. And the final score 30-14. Very respectable. And my young kids got to learn the lessons. Like, when you're up against the wall, when you are faced with adversity, these young people from the inner city got to learn what it means to never, ever, ever give up. I got to be in that moment with my son. And I was like, when you're down like this, you got 2 choices: either quit or you fight back. And my team fought back and made it a respectable game, man, to the point where they took a knee at the end because they gave us a ball again. We would have cut it to 1 touchdown. My team was hot and on fire in the second half. We just needed that in the first half. But that referee is the motivation for this episode. Black and White Friday. And let's talk about that interaction as we go throughout the day. Have any of you had that experience in sports where, you've seen an obvious display of showing out, man? The brother was showing, like, you throw a flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct against a coach, against the head coach, which they tell you you're allowed to ask a question, needs to be me in your face. I got to at least use 1 curse word.
Right.
I got to at least, like, I wasn't even shouting, bro. It was like, I was like, what kind of way is that to start? I can't ask you a question. And I guess he didn't like my rhetorical, and he threw a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. Have any of you been in a situation like that?
Not in the sports world, but just one thing, Bobby, in defense of you, I've never heard or seen you use profanity in front of kids. I can definitely, yes. And you're the MVP from picking me up because a homegirl was high as a kite after surgery. I appreciate it so much. You have no idea. They weren't going to let me leave the hospital.
That was easy. That was easy. No worries.
But in corporate America, I've definitely seen it. It's always like they'll have like the 2 Black people, and you guys have the same experience, like you both grew up in the hood and blah, blah, blah. And then one is always trying to one up you. And I'm like, bitch, you are not getting invited to after lunch, after work drinks or anything like that. They're calling us Keisha and Kimura when we leave. Like, they don't even know our first names. And why are you trying to pander to this white ass crowd? They put raisins in their potato salad. I can't trust people who don't season their chicken properly, and they don't wash it either. That's all I got to say.
I know we've all experienced it in corporate America, and it was a sort of a slap in the face to experience it there. And I'm like, I've seen this rep before. Like, bro, you know me. Like, what's the problem? And then I hear the white coaches over there, because ironically, the white coaches had like Googled me and knew who I was, and they basically were asking for an autograph before the game. But this Black ref took it upon himself to treat me as though I was a problem. I'm like,
it's Shaboogie-ism. It's diagnosable. That is what he suffers from, Shaboogie-ism.
I like that. Next time I see Shaboogie himself, I'm gonna be like, bro, you didn't have to do that. But the fact that he wouldn't even entertain the conversation after the game, not just after my game, I waited to after the next game, and he was walking off the field, and I said, can you now tell me why I got unsportsmanlike? Like, I really want to know. He looked at me like, here's this guy again. It's like, no, like, bro, like, really? Like, I'm the one volunteering my time for these kids. You getting paid to be out here as a referee.
Have you ever had that ref before?
I've had him before, and he's always a trip, but he took it overboard. And I hear the white coaches tell me, "Oh, he's going to be out of here." Like after I got the penalty, like, "Oh, they're going to kick him out." Now, mind you, I'm completely under control during this whole exchange because I got 8 and 9-year-olds watching me, man. So and not and in general, not to mention my own, kid is on the field at the time. And I've got my other son watching from the sideline. So I'm in complete control all the time, man. But it was just it was unfortunate exchange. It showed me a lot about when we do have that interaction, how sometimes black folks show out for white folk. That's the only explanation I have.
Your kinfolk ain't always your kinfolk. You cannot. I mean, you assume you're like, you do the nod and you're like, yeah, it's one of us, and then they start that's your boogie shit, and oh damn, it's a wrap. If I come back to 30 seconds after break, they telling on me. If Google popped up on my screen, they telling on me. So you just know what you're dealing with. You already know. You be like, oh Lord, here they go.
Yeah.
She did it.
But it is what it is. Big Flo or Superhero DJ John Quick. You guys, I'll give it to you. Any experiences like that before we get in?
I'm sure plenty, man. But let's move on because that shit made me angry.
I haven't had one of those with the refs where I felt like the dude was showing out. I've had plenty of my share of bad refs, but I do have one that came to mind where I had a brother of mine that made a mistake, and he was in front of the judge, and the judge happened to be black, and we all were kind of pulling for him, hoping that he might get something loose. And the guy said, you remind me of my son, and you remind me of this, or whatever. He's giving the sentence, and then he gave him the maximum sentence at the end of this thing. And I'm thinking, damn, you must not like your son.
Right.
But yeah, he gave my boy a lot of time for a very small crime. And I felt like he was trying to show out to say, see, I'm gonna be tough on the black people over here. So sometimes you think you coming up,
justice system.
Sometimes you think you're coming up and you get somebody like, okay, I got this guy's gonna look out for me a little bit, but then it turned out to be the worst. So I'm not gonna name your name if you're watching. I love you.
Yeah, I love you, my brother. But yeah, at the same time, you see all this nepotism that has occurred over the last 4 years, this administration, and it makes me scratch my head. Flynn just got pardoned. Mike Flynn just got pardoned by this president.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. But it makes you scratch your head. Is just that why do we always feel compelled to show out?
Well, just Bobby, this as an attorney, the pardon is only federal. The states can still come after him. So like when that 45 pardons himself, it's just like, well, you weren't charged with anything, but you're guilty of something. The state of New York is still coming after you. So,
yes, and that is a black attorney general,
Letitia James.
Letitia, my girl.
She gonna show up and be like, "Hey."
If he's starting to pardon folks, right? I know he had pardoned Blago a little while ago, but he pardoned folks. Is that his way of admitting that this is over? There's no way. I know I'm coming out.
Oh, please.
Because don't you pardon people on your way out the door typically?
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of this whole like voter tampering is fraudulent.
He's
he's bored. He mentioned the fact yesterday that there's no way more black people voted for Joe Biden than Barack Obama. Like,
I had somebody tell me that the other day too.
Like white people, like they're white people. You don't. The moment someone judges them, why are you judging me? But you blanket everything darker than you. Shut up. And keep your mind your business. Stay out of black folks' business. You don't, just because you know one doesn't mean you know all. Play your position. Get your mac and cheese with Velveeta, whatever it is y'all do.
Raisins
in the sweet potato, whatever the hell y'all do. The unwashed, unseasoned chicken. Mind your business, please and thank you.
We are going to dive into a little bit of sports, and then I'll come back to why this edition is Black and White Friday, because I had another incident with that same team at a white pizza establishment as we tried to have our send-off, our end of the year event. So stay with us. It'll come full circle. NBA free agency. Who do you guys think is winning so far? I've seen that the Lakers are still on the move. The Lakers has Montrezl Harrell. They pulled him from the Clippers. Now he'll be playing for the Lakers. Is there any team that stands out? NBA free agency. I don't know if you guys have followed it much. We know I talk bad about CP3. Y'all know I got issues with any grown man with a little boy haircut.
Oh, Bob.
He got a little boy haircut. He does. He does.
Well, at least he still
Number
has
one guard with
hair.
an edge
He
up.
has a normal ass haircut.
He
What
has
you
a
talking
little
about?
boy
Exactly.
haircut.
Don't start.
the number 3
Don't bring
on
me
the
into that
poster.
type of conversation. You ain't. You know what I'm saying? You could have just left it at the little boy haircut. You want to pick on the ball folks. Okay. That's how you treat your guests. I see how it is.
I treat you like I treat anyone else.
No, I thought about it when I said that. Like, how does she treat the guests? Okay.
So
I feel bothered now. I'm here.
So Maya said at least he has hair, and you don't really like that whole statement. Huh?
I didn't feel like we had to. What I got to do?
I wasn't even directing it towards you. Like, as my grandmother would say, a hit dog will holler. I wasn't even talking about you, sweetie. The real winner is COVID-19, because COVID-19 taking out every fucking body. Okay. And the thing about it is that I don't know if it's a male thing, but I don't know why people, humans especially, just try to force themselves into a situation that they're not going to win. Let COVID win. Let it run its course, and then we go on our merry way after we do what we're supposed to do to get it back. Nothing's going to change until the NBA is not going to be the same. The NFL is just trash anyway. Nothing's going to change until we find out how to defeat this virus, and how people get it in their dense fucking heads that they cannot take on this. You're not going to beat it. COVID is unmatched. It's undefeated.
And COVID definitely has more victims. The TV networks have got to be killing themselves, because they had the ideal matchup. You had an undefeated Steelers team, much to my chagrin, and I don't like them at all. I know. That's why I wanted to make sure I put that in there. I knew you were coming with something. That's his squad. He's been waiting on that. The undefeated Steelers against the Ravens on Thanksgiving night as the primetime game. Yeah. You would think that this is ideal. People were licking their chops. You got every single storyline imaginable. And guess what, y'all? COVID didn't give a good, you know what.
Exactly.
COVID snatched that game right off the network and messed up, literally messed up the primetime game of all primetime games. You've been waiting for this game. I know I've been waiting on this game all year. If there's anyone that was going to beat an undefeated Steelers team, you thought the Ravens had a chance to do it on Thanksgiving night. And all of a sudden, I found myself as a Browns fan pulling for the Ravens. I never do that inside the division, but I wanted them to give that first L to the Steelers, and it didn't happen. COVID came in and tapped everybody on the shoulders like, yeah, bruh, ain't gonna happen.
Several seats because several people.
Didn't they just play a couple weeks ago, or am I tripping?
Yeah, they did play a couple.
Yeah, they did play a couple weeks ago. Came to the end of the thought.
Yeah.
But wait, why the Steelers so good? I know John is, because
of that black
we on the same team.
Mike Tomlin,
and they got Chase Claypool from Notre Dame. What are we doing?
Chase Claypool, yeah.
Chase Claypool. He's having a hell of a year too.
He is.
He's having a hell of a year, definitely.
Big Ben is playing pretty well considering he's a million years old, but they've got
he's not raping girls in bathrooms.
I mean, you look at his stats, bro. Like,
he
is 22 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Bro.
He's on everyone's top 5 MVP. Yeah, to me, he's not the favorite to win the MVP, but he's in the top 5. Yeah,
hats off to the Steelers though, because Tomlin has been there for a while, and they let him have bad seasons, and then had that bad season and come back. Sometimes people pull triggers. You know how it is. The black coaches, they pull a trigger quick. Yeah, I think Tomlin's only had like one losing season or something like that.
He's never had a losing season.
Wait, didn't he? Wasn't he real bad last year?
No, he figured out how to have a winning season.
Oh, he found a way to have a winning season. But but hell, they fired Lovie Smith, and he went 13-3 or something like that. They fired him. So that should even. That's not
Pittsburgh is different.
3 head coaches in 60
I know,
years.
but that's the reason why they do well. You got to give people a chance to ebb and flow. You know what I mean? That's why they do well. I like that about the Steelers.
Anybody bring you on here to give Pittsburgh love, bro? Like, come on, man. Forget the Steelers and everything they stand for.
Come on, man. We have so many Steeler homies over there. You got an Iron City. Let's go.
Well, you know what? Pittsburgh
good
is the most
organization.
racist city in America, if that makes you feel better.
Boston's got to
No.
be.
Boston.
No,
You said Pittsburgh?
not sports city,
sure.
actual city,
Boston.
the most racist city
Boston.
in America.
I
It's
think Pittsburgh.
I think
I know
Boston.
Pittsburgh. Y'all want to pull it up? I got to get Google on y'all.
Oh, no.
It's
friend.
Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna trust you. That's what, and thank you for that. I needed something.
And you know who's number two?
Mm.
You know who's number two? Chicago.
Chicago. Yep. That's where I'm from.
Really?
For sure.
Yeah. What?
We have
Martin
every
Luther
group of
King
people that
said
you've ever seen, but you all had to stay in your respective neighborhood. Somebody pointed out why Chicago's racist is because our upscale black neighborhood is called Bronzeville, and I never thought about that. I'm like, damn, they sure did name it Bronzeville, but everything here is segregated as hell.
Yeah, Martin Luther King said that he's marched all over the South, and he's never met the vitriol that he faced when he was in Chicago.
And my girl, what's up, Miss Tanya? Thank you for always tuning in. As we ask everyone every week, please like, please comment, please share. She says COVID ain't racist, and that's sure enough true because it's getting everybody, y'all.
It sure likes the Republicans though a little bit. I think COVID might starting to become a little bit blue because I'm hearing about more and more of these Republicans catching
because
it,
they don't wear masks. They're stupid.
Hey.
They think it's a hoax. But you know what? Don Jr. was bound to get it because when you do that much cocaine, ain't nothing gonna block your nasal passages.
Nothing.
So
COVID is on there surfing like this. COVID surfing in his nose like these.
They said they didn't even do the swab. They said the swab is still up there. They can't find it.
They can't find the bottom.
Wide open.
They can't find the bottom.
Wide open. I will say, in all seriousness, I do keep in my prayers. I know you've spoken to him, Reg. Is our coach, Lou Holtz, who is notorious for having spoken at the RNC and supported the current president. I do wish him well. He has contracted COVID, and he is in one of the most dangerous age categories. So keeping him
not doing well.
Yeah, so I keep him in my prayer.
He wasn't when I talked to him.
Hopefully, he's doing better now. He will remain in our prayers, and all the people that we have come to know are dealing with this. Y'all, let's just keep them in prayer. Thanksgiving was a little different, not only because the primetime game got canceled, but all of us had to make some sacrifices. We, especially us black folk, we used to big old Thanksgiving dinners with a whole bunch of folk. And we all had to make that sacrifice this year. So, I shout out to everybody for making the sacrifice. If you one of the people that violated the rules, just stay away from me for 2 weeks. If you had one of them big old Thanksgivings, and I'm watching
me in Facebook jail or something because we threw down. We had to kill the family. Well, look, here's what happened. So we had to kill the family one.
What happened was,
and just me and my neighbor buddy did it. But we threw down. The food was great. It was fantastic.
How many people? Don't tell on yourself. If you're gonna get in trouble, don't.
So 4 of us, 5 in his family. So it was the groups. But we are together all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was less than 10, and we say.
What was the rule? What were the guidelines? Mayor Lightfoot, I know she's been pretty strict about some of these gatherings.
She said stay at home. Period. She came out to Turkey on one of these little memes somebody sent me. She came out to Turkey giving speeches. Lightfoot will let you know. But here's the way: since we've had the pandemic, this is a guy that lives close, and so we basically said, "Look, man, my son's best friends with your son. Our wives hang out, so we just made ourselves one little joint."
All right.
And so
that's cool.
We threw down.
The most amazing thing I think I've heard in sports all week is that the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones fight is breaking pay-per-view pre-sale fight records. Now, I don't know about y'all, but 2 50-year-old men fighting. Ain't no title involved. It's an exhibition. If anybody gets knocked down, the fight is over. If anybody gets
they got to give at least a 15 count, though. All right, you got to add some time to get back up. You can't get up in 10 seconds.
I don't know. How is this breaking pay-per-view pre-sale numbers? Are we that bored, y'all?
COVID is winning everything. It has literally made people, it's a life changer. I scheduled my surgery around COVID. Look, I knew Thanksgiving was going to be shot to hell. I knew I wasn't going to be with anyone. I'm like, let me have my surgery now. I'll be home. I was allegedly supposed to be sleeping with these sleeping pills that ain't fucking working. That's another story. But this is what you do. You literally change your life to curtail this.
And it's a train wreck. America loves a train wreck. We got to see this. Like 2 50-year-old dudes squabbling. Right now, if I told you it was 2 50-year-olds outside your house fighting, you would pause the show and run outside to see it. You had to check that out.
I'd be like, that's a regular Friday in Newark.
You know?
Superhero DJ John Quick, are you going to be among the pay-per-view audience that is going to pay for this fight?
I got that, you know, that whole.
Don't tell on yourself. Don't tell yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching it.
John knows somebody who knows somebody.
I mean, we can't play down the significance that these guys are both legends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to remember a lot of younger people only hear what their parents talk about in terms of Mike Tyson or Roy Jones. So this, you know, I think a lot of this is coming from the younger generation as well. Kind of like, I think, kind of curious, like, yo, what's up? And then also, I don't feel like the amount of star power is in boxing like it was back in their day. You know what I'm saying? I think UFC has more star power than boxing now. Matter of fact, I don't think it, I know it. And I think because this is an actual boxing event where everybody knows both fighters, not just one. So I think that plays into it too, man. Like, when's the last time we had a championship boxing match where we knew both boxers well? You know what I'm saying? Like, we may know one, and then the other was like, okay, he's on the come up, or he used to be good, and now he's, you know.
Right. Because the Crawford fight last week, Crawford fight was good.
2 50-year-olds, you know, battling out. Like, yeah, if I hear that outside, I'm going outside to see what's up. I'm looking out
right now. I gotta go see this. You going outside? You taking your phone to put it on the gram? Sure. Like, I got to make sure this is live.
But you know, to Maya's point though about COVID stepping up. You think about it, typically when there's a big fight coming on, I don't think to get it because I know somebody's going to get it and I'm going to go to somebody's house. Now we're not really throwing these parties. Everybody's like, I'm going to be home. So pay-per-view is coming up because it's going to be like, you know, 2 or 4 eyeballs to each pay-per-view as opposed to 20 to 30 that they usually get.
And no one's going to the arena to watch them fight.
No. Quickly, I'll go around the horn. Maya, I'll take you out of it. I know that you were home taking care of your post-surgery situation, but everybody else, what's the best thing that you tasted on Thanksgiving? What'd you have?
Bob, really?
I didn't want to put you on the spot because I know that you had to keep it. You can definitely
coffee. Share. I had a cup of coffee yesterday, and that shit was like liquid gold.
Miss Maya, I sent you a majestic
I got you a plate, Miss Maya.
I got you a plate too. If that's the best you had was coffee.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. But she had to stay home because of her surgery. So everybody else,
she got a sweet foot.
I do.
What was the best thing that you tasted? Superhero DJ John Quick, what'd you have?
I didn't really have Thanksgiving dinner. I just had, you know, regular whatever. So I was at the crib. So I can't. Damn, what did I have for dinner yesterday? I don't even remember.
Did you have a steak or something?
Like I was sleeping for most of the day.
I feel guilty. I know. I feel guilty too now because I was one of them dudes. I was gluttonous. What'd you eat, Big Flo?
I mean, I'm glad I went last because I can show you the picture of what we saw the spread. So my man had injected a turkey with jerk seasoning and deep fried it. It was mean. It was mean. I'm gonna have some. You know what? What time the show finish?
30 minutes.
That's what I love. That's what I love about the day after Thanksgiving. All rules are off. You can eat turkey, ham in the morning. You can have stuffing. You can eat anything for the morning after. I saw my man on here, Bazemore. He said that he finally made it. He got the items from leftovers for breakfast because that is definitely post Thanksgiving what we normally do, man. Go ahead and eat it up. All right, the first college football rankings came out, and Alabama was first. You know, and that I got to say that because they were the new. Yeah. And then there was this university that hails from the city of South Bend, Indiana. It has a dome in the middle of campus that is golden. It's got plenty of white folk that are fans, but it's got some brothers too. And you got 2 of those brothers right here. They decided this year not just to play like a champion today, but every day. Notre Dame is at number 2. And come on, man, hit the applause or something. Come on.
No love.
He got on his Randy Moss shirt. He got on his Randy Moss shirt today, y'all.
Don't
Show
make
him
me
the
start
shirt.
DJing. Randy Moss. Randy Moss wanted to be a fighting Irishman.
He was.
And we wanted him. Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash,
homie.
He wanted to be straight Golden Dome, homie.
Hey,
yeah, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. He went
Fantastic.
to the Marshall University, you know, so
For sure.
He
That's his third choice. You're right. Third choice. Sometimes third time is a charm. Third time is a
a
charm.
pretty good career, I think. You know?
He ended up having a great career, and that's that obviously is your university too. And I got no disrespect for Marshall, but talking about this year's ranking, Notre Dame's at number 2, y'all. What do you think about them Irish, Big Flo? You're the missing link. I feel as though if I said what I really wanted to say, they would have called me a homer, and they'd have been like, "Of course you're gonna say all of these things." So I brought you in to you tell me about this Notre Dame.
I mean, this Notre Dame defense seems like that they're ready to go. I think Ian Book is managing this team well. He starts stepping up and leading. I think he's the all-time after today. He'll be the all-time winningest quarterback for Notre Dame history, which kind of is a shocker when you think about it. But we're doing well. I mean, we deserve to be there. We beat Clemson. Everyone says that they didn't have their quarterback, but the quarterback that came in had a 450-yard day, and he was the number 1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school, and he would start for everybody's favorite team on here, whose team may not be Clemson or whatever. He's a monster. So I don't know that Trevor Lawrence would have made – there was any plays where I said, man, Trevor Lawrence would have made that play. So they did well on offense. We did well. They did miss a couple guys. Clemson had some linebacker and defensive lineman they were missing. I think that was probably more of a test if we play them again. We got to keep winning. But, I mean, we hit the trap game. You know, I was there back when Boston College beat us after we beat Florida State. So we went through that trap game. Let's hope that we're still focusing and we can get this week. We get North Carolina ready to go. But if not us, who? Right? We're number 2. If not us, who else?
I love it. And then after that, Clemson was just at number 3, even with a loss, and Ohio State at 4. I think that they had to do that because Ohio State's body of work is just not extensive enough because the Big Ten started playing football like yesterday. They've only got a few wins. But this should be an interesting year, man. I'm going to call them the kings and queens of COVID if we're able to get through college football, because the administrative staffs and the players, the coaches, everybody, man, deserves quite the hats off to circumvent what is indeed a pandemic, man. So hoping the Irish can pull it off. I'd love to see them if they made it to the national championship game. It would be probably like mid-January. Would you go to the game, Big Flo?
I don't know. It depends if you guys are starting to take that Rona shot. I don't know. Nah, go to the game if it's going to be. If it's limited people,
you're not taking the Rona shot.
I'm not going to be first in line until we make sure it's Tuskegee free. I'm going to make sure.
Give it to all the 45 supporters first. Let them die off.
They keep getting it. No, I'm not going to be first, but the more I think about it, I talked to some people that were in Europe and Germany, and they're laughing. They're like, this is like Oxford is making one of these things. So all the conspiracies you're thinking about, I'm like, you're right. I'm still not going first, but I can go second or third. If they have limited, like if they don't pack the stadium or whatever, and people start doing it.
We ain't been in a championship since 1988 against West Virginia University. Superhero DJ.
Who hasn't been to a championship?
That's not true.
I enjoyed that game.
Bobby, you were at the last time we were at a championship.
I'm not counting that. You count that?
What,
we were there.
We didn't show up. We were not there. They kicked the ball off.
I was about to say.
We were there to make sure that,
let's not even mention that. Why even?
We were orange combs. It was what we were.
There's Alabama went up and down the field against Air. We weren't on that field. Let's stop playing, man.
True that.
The last time we had a legitimate shot to win was in
1993.
93, but we had a speed bump in the road called Boston College, and we weren't in the game.
But that's for those of you too young to remember. That's before they had the playoffs, and it was just a popularity contest. So for all practical purposes, we won the championship. They just decided not to give it to us.
Yeah, I mean that was a Bobby Bowden decision. Bobby Bowden, they wanted to give Bobby Bowden this. All right, so Dave Chappelle. To switch topics really quickly, Dave Chappelle. For those of you who do not know, Dave Chappelle has used his influence, has used his power to make sure that Netflix, because of his ongoing relationship with Netflix, I think he has written 2 or 3 shows already for them. because of this ongoing relationship, he put pressure on them to take down the Chappelle Show. Or instead, he encouraged all of his fans to stop watching it because he's not being paid. I think CBS has the rights to it. He didn't even know it was going to be on Netflix. And Dave Chappelle, through his influence, has gotten Netflix to take down the Chappelle Show off Netflix. To me, because Ball Hawk Sports Talk, where sports, business, and entertainment collide. In terms of business and entertainment, this is the story of all stories. A Black man having that much power is nothing short of miraculous, and he's earned it. And we all thought he was crazy, myself included, when he passed up the biggest payday ever to go on a safari wherever he was, and he went on a voyage. But maybe we were the one crazy. Maybe we didn't understand just how much he understood his power, and it's come full circle. So hats off to him. I don't know if you guys have any comments about that story, but I thought it was crazy. Go ahead.
So basically, this is controversial. I love his show. I don't like his stand-up. I've never been a fan of his stand-up. I don't think it's funny. His skit comedy, liquid gold. What I do respect about him is that when he did leave Comedy Central, because he's literally the only thing on Comedy Central. There is no Comedy Central without Dave Chappelle. They still owe him money. And when he reached out to his agent, was like, what's going on? He was like, I got to get back to you. And he never heard back. And he said, fuck it, I'll do my own legwork.
Right.
And since he does have such a good relationship with Netflix, three stand-up deal for $60 million, they honored it. They were like, you know what? We don't want to ruffle any feathers or anything. We'll take it down. It's still up on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
And because I remember when the day it came out on Halloween, I was so hyped. But he has to take that up with HBO and Comedy Central, because that's literally the only thing they have that makes them sort of relevant. And that show hasn't been on the air since 2006, if that long.
So Maya, they're just stiffing him his checks, or they say they don't owe him, or I heard the story.
Basically, they're just holding on to it, and it's not like it wasn't going to be trending when it was released. It was literally trending the first day, number 3, and then number 1 in the U.S. So they were going to get eyes on it, but it's intellectual property. You have to pay that man. No one.
No, you don't. No, wrong.
Depending on the contract.
He even said it himself. He said he signed it. That was his explanation. He said, I signed it, but does that make it right? So they don't owe him. Technically, they don't owe him money at all.
Okay, so he
basically was like, look, I'm not getting paid for this. So if you're our fans, I'd appreciate if you guys would not watch it. But he has no rights to it. It's crazy. But like he said,
is that part of like when he walked away from his contract or something?
I signed it.
His
whole thing was, I signed it, but does that make it right? That was his whole campaign around this.
That's like a 50 Cent move he did.
He should have called me.
I think out of the respect of the relationship that he has with Netflix,
right?
That I think, number one, I think it was very smart of them to take it down when he asked and whatever. And number two, like, he's gonna make that money back for them tenfold. So
right,
it is what it is. But yeah,
I get that, but man,
tale, Bob, that's what it comes down to.
Cautionary tale, yeah. And but look, shout out to him for being honest enough to say I signed it. Doesn't make it right. Next time, Dave, call your boy, man. I'll walk.
That was some of his best work.
Oh, it was great.
No, that's what put him on the map.
Yeah,
that it's legend. But something, like you said, a cautionary tale. But at the end of the day, those predatory contracts, they get you.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, Comedy Central, no one even knows what channel that is on cable. No. The only reason why people even know about that channel is because of him.
It reminds me of like some of the messed up hip hop and R&B contracts. Some of these
back in the day, right? Yeah. Suge Knight contracts.
So he did like a Prince move. Instead of changing his name to a symbol, he said, "Look, guys, just don't watch my stuff anymore." That's really as gangster as you get.
But that shows the power. Exactly. That shows how loyal people are, because if you went on Instagram and Facebook, that's all you saw. People were like, what happened? When they heard the story, they were like, yeah, we ride with Dave. Fuck that. So
I'll give y'all a free show. Just
on this Black Friday, on this edition of Black and White Friday of the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Shout out to that black man for understanding his power. King and queen, kings and queens, know your worth. That was my caption. That brother knows his worth. He understands loyalty.
Because they didn't have to, but that was a smart move.
For Netflix, it was a very smart business move.
They know what they're doing.
But did they? I mean, they had to pay something to get it on there, so they really had to be like,
took
we're riding with day. Huh?
They took a loss.
But I'm saying they took it off, so it took an L for sure. They had to pay some money.
Well, it depends on what that contract was like.
Oh, because it could be they only pay them residuals of what they get.
Based on what the viewership is like. There could be a contract for them because
let's be clear. Netflix is printing money. Trust.
Yeah. Especially in the pandemic. Hey, man, I just got the message saying that it's going up $2 or something like that.
Yeah, they're about to. And what are you going to do?
$2 more.
Netflix.
They can do that. We're speaking about power. They can do that because they know
what I'm gonna do.
Only a small percentage of people cancel their Netflix.
Nobody cancels, not because of that $2.
And then you got dinosaurs like me who don't have Netflix. So
what do you do?
That's right. I said it. I'm sorry. I knew they was gonna mess up with Dave Chappelle and put that Chappelle show on there, baby.
So
what did you do during the pandemic? Are y'all having another shorty?
No. Hey, I train my boys, man.
You just got the chill. You don't have the Netflix part. You just got the chill.
I got the chill part. I trained my boys, man. That's why he had like 35 touchdowns, baby.
For sure.
All of the workouts that we did. Yeah, man. I've never done Netflix, so it is what it is.
You have to. Let me tell you, like Shonda Rhimes. They literally people are leaving networks because you could go to Netflix and put whatever creative content. You're not censored. That shit is.
Let me just say this though.
Do you mess with Amazon or Hulu or any of that?
So many people share the contents of the show after the fact. Like even not having Netflix, I feel like I have Netflix. I go on Facebook and
people just tell you about the show, and you think that's good enough.
Yeah, I'm good. I get the synopsis. I go Cliff Notes version.
You're easily satisfied, my friend.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
Luke Cage. Bob, let me keep it 100.
Luke Cage was okay. Don't give Luke Cage too much credit. He was. You probably think he's fine. That's all. It was okay.
Say that again, superhero DJ John Quick.
I said Netflix has the most black content than any other streaming platform.
It's just great.
That includes BET. That's facts.
All right. Well, in that case, I might give them a chance. So, do you think that they would grandfather me into the $2 escalation?
But but the good thing is you'll never know the difference. So who cares?
No. Y'all told me. Now I know that.
Listen, the price is going up, but there's 2 packages. You can still get the other package for like I think $9.99.
Can you still get them to mail you a DVD? Back in the day, they still do that.
Hey, they do that. I'm good. I got my DVD player.
They still do that. Mail me a DVD.
As Tanya so wisely noted, yes, your MC, B Brown ESQ, aka the Ball, aka the Mountain South, aka Mr. Accept Celebration, is
the dinosaur.
A dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur.
You can't trust nobody don't got Netflix. I'm sorry.
You know what?
I have Amazon Prime. I have Hulu.
Quick, I gotta go.
I'm not paying for a live subscription because I ultimately ended up getting cable. It just helps. Actually, it's better with the internet, and the price was actually lower if you compared it to.
So you don't do cable at all? Either?
I have cable. Okay. I have cable. I have cable, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. But if I were to pay for a subscription for Hulu, like commercial-free live TV, it was actually cheaper to get cable than it was to pay for a live Hulu subscription.
If you have cable, you got to see last night on Thanksgiving 2 very, very, very horrible games. 4 horrible teams. And you would think that's bad enough, but no, right? Because we got to see the Lions lose yet again to them sorry Houston Texans. You would think that would be the worst, having to watch 4 horrible teams on Thanksgiving, knowing that the Steelers and the Ravens was postponed. You think that would be enough, but no. We talked about how great how great Mike Tomlin is, but just how bad is Mike McCarthy? The Cowboys on a day where horrible football was at the forefront. Here comes Mike McCarthy and all his whackness and all his white privilege to get that role as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys on full display on his own 23-yard line, faking a with the worst punt fake I think I've ever seen. The man is so inept. He is so bad that I think that he is literally trying to get fired. He was like, look, all these people watching, I want you to fire me right here, bro. How can he be so bad? The Dallas Cowboys, if you call yourself America's team, we fight. You are not America's team. You are the opposite of America's team. You are, let's go back to the Cold War. You the Soviets team. Like, that's something else. That's not American, what we saw last night. And Mike McCarthy having that job is nothing short of criminal. The Dallas Cowgirls, you are officially, I'm pulling you into the slop. You eating all the mud because the Ball Hog Sports Talk, what I saw, what my eyes witnessed last night was nothing short of horrible. And Mike McCarthy, you the MVP of horrible, brother. That was a bad performance by a head coach. What say y'all? I know you don't watch, Maya, and I know you don't normally watch, but I'm
with Maya on that one. I should have not watched either. That was terrible.
I wish I could unwatch it.
From what is unwatchable, as I just don't understand how. First of all, Dallas hasn't been relevant since I was in high school, which was a very long time. That was my freshman year of high school.
I was about to say, don't tell on me. Don't tell my age.
Oh, okay. And they're not a good team. You know, Mike McCarthy was actually a very good coach in Green Bay. I mean, he had Aaron Rodgers and whatnot. But the Cowboys are always overhyped. They are certified dumpster juice. It stops from the top. The fish rots from the head. The facelift haven't owned it ain't shit. The executives under him ain't shit.
You think he had a facelift?
Jerry Jones had the facelift.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
And he still looked like shit. That's what happens from within when your soul not right. It just manifests through your
soul showing through. So you still
and you pale. So they just rotten to the core. You can build that $1 billion stadium, and no one gives a shit about the Cowgirls. Oh, damn! I wouldn't mean to call them the Cowgirls, but Freudian slip. Who you doing, Dallas? Oh no.
Yo, that
was DJ John Quick. What's up, man?
I was watching ESPN. It was so funny when he was trying to explain why he went on it for fourth down on his was it a 30-yard line?
It was his own 24, 34, something like that.
Tied. And he said, he literally said it was a solid play call.
What?
He had to say that. What else could you say?
What are you smoking? Like, how is that you're tied? Like, how is that a solid play call in any universe? Like, but I enjoyed it because I don't,
I personally believe that they don't. This is all a ploy. They don't want to pay Dak Prescott, right? So they feel if they lose enough, they can go get your boy from Clemson.
Yeah,
and that's all a big scam. So if I go for it on fourth down, I'm going to lose the rest. My team will quit because to Maya's point, he did really well with Green Bay. I actually thought he was a good coach.
Yeah.
There's more talent in Dallas than Green Bay had on the team that they won the Super Bowl with. It's so good at every position. It has so many ballers. He's that sorry.
No, he's being exposed, y'all. He's being exposed. I'm sorry. Like
Garrett Jason Garrett is hands up. Like, man, I told y'all I wouldn't.
He was horrible too. He failed up. Let me tell you something. If that was Gerard Garrett, his ass would only been there 1 year. He would still be an assistant. The Cowboys are not a good organization. They have a lot of bad energy around them. It's because of their fucking bad owner. I'm sorry. They will forever be cursed because of how fucked up they are. Look at Herschel Walker. He used to, he's the biggest Trump supporter. He probably got CTE. He dumb as a bag of rocks too. Ain't nothing good ever come from that organization. Ever.
Is a bag of rocks beneath a box of rocks or above? I don't know where we at.
I think
a bag is worse. Okay, a bag of rocks.
Yeah,
you don't even have any shape to you.
More solid.
I got you.
It's gonna hold the rocks.
Recount. You can't spell recount. Hell, nigga, can't you count at all? So nothing's good gonna come to the Cowboys. I love to see them fail. They deserve all of the vitriol they get because they are consistently scumbags behind the scenes. Fuck that organization. Fuck your stadium. I don't care how much plexiglass you got. You ain't shit. Everybody sees you ain't shit. and you ain't won.
It reeks. It reeks.
Years.
When you do something like that,
issue as the Knicks.
The Cowboys.
Yes.
The Cowboys so bad. It took 55 minutes for a true
NFL.
Maya cuss out.
Yes.
And Maya gave a true cuss out. She saved for y'all. That's how bad y'all are. And she don't even watch.
The Cowboys are horrible. Cowboys are horrible. And when you fake a punt in your own territory, and not just a normal fake punt, you do an end around. It looks like when you do that, that's desperation. And I'm like, if you're gonna be desperate, I know what my eyes saw. That's desperation. Marvin Bazemore, who says he has been a fan all his life and has acknowledged how inept Mike McCarthy is in this particular Dallas Cowboys team. For my big brother, my man, my brother Terry Brown, I gave you a few hours. I will be calling you today. I didn't want to rub it in. Dude, right? Because, you know what I mean? I love my brother. So I gave him a few hours. But I will be calling today. And I need some explaining. Why did that man fake that punt in his own territory? Because
this is the point. I'm like, is this motherfucker point shaving?
Yo, for real, man. For real.
Like, that was some curious shit.
Or his play call from the 5-yard line or 4-yard line. I'm like, man, what are you calling? What? It made me feel good as the coach of the 9-year-old, 9 and under, Mighty Mike's Junior Jaguars. I felt real good about my play calling. That's the only thing that you are serving us, Mike McCarthy, is confidence throughout the coaching ranks. Because we all think, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I know that. That's what I
He's the threshold. The Cowboys will never win after how they treat, first of all, how they treated Emmitt Smith and how they treated Bill Parcells, period. The way they treated Emmitt Smith was
Jimmy Johnson, too.
Jimmy Johnson, absolutely.
Fuck Jimmy Johnson. He did my boy dirty in his last couple of years, so it's all good. he went to Miami. If you run this, you take your play face ass on somewhere. But
you don't like how you treated your boy Dan the Man Marino.
Not at all. Because he said, whatever you need for me to do, I'll do. And Jimmy drafting people named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He ain't got no fucking sky hook. Why is he running the football? What are you doing, Jimmy?
Maya pulling him out the crates.
Oh, she really loves her Dan Marino now.
And
hey,
do not be fooled.
Maya will ride when she ride with you. She ride with you. But when she against you, NFL, she against you. All right. So look, we gonna wind down, y'all. I did want to at least talk about a very feel-good story. Sharif O'Neal, who is the son of Shaquille O'Neal, transferred from UCLA to Shaquille O'Neal's alma mater. I think he graduated. Yeah, he graduated from LSU. Did he graduate? I know he left early.
Back years later, got a degree.
Yeah, he got his degree.
He got his degree. Sharif O'Neal, who had open heart surgery, is now playing for LSU, and Shaquille O'Neal's daughter is also a freshman at LSU. So shout out to the O'Neal family and its connection to LSU. That's a feel good story, man. And I hope that not only Sharif only had 3 points yesterday, but the fact that he's out there on a basketball court is nothing short of amazing, man, because he had open heart surgery. So rooting for him, man. Shaquille's one of those guys that I know through the political, the last few months.
Boogie. You ain't got to tap dance around.
I know.
Boogie. Born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. Shout out to Newark. But Shaquille, he likes to straddle the fence. You need to pick a fucking side. And
he's not horrible, but he does straddle the fence.
Yeah, he lives in Jabugsville and toots his horn. Yeah.
Can I throw a shout out, Bobby?
Go ahead, man. Yes.
Shout out to Ricky Waters, man. Coming back, getting his degree.
Yeah!
After all this time. After all the career he's had and everything he's done to come back and get a degree to prove to himself and his kids, whatever, he finished what you started. I appreciate that.
As the MC of this show, I'm going to work hard to get Rick on the show. Let's see if we can get Ricky Waters on this show, because I think those type of stories need to be celebrated more. I know his wife is an attorney. Kat is his wife's name, and she's an awesome lady. So shout out to them, man, because it had to be a sacrifice for the entire family for him to do that. So shout out to he and his wife and his 2 kids, 2 sons. Congratulations, man, on graduating from the University of Notre Dame, which just happens to be the number 2 ranked team on the recently
He
Say it
makes
again.
it look so
Say it again.
effortless. I don't think he made it look so easy to run up and down the field.
He did.
It was like
Slick Rick in the building.
it was effortless. I loved it.
Slick Rick in the building. All right, y'all. Look, it has been amazing. I told you we're gonna come full circle. I told you about the black referees showing out for the white team that traveled up here to play. We also had our end of the season event, and we had it at a pizzeria. No, I'm gonna say their name. It's Star Tavern, which is in here. Up here, it's like it's in Orange, but it's in between a lot of suburban towns, and so while it's in the heart of a black city, a lot of white patrons support this pizzeria. So I called them and I said, hey, we're going to be there for an hour and 15 minutes. I've got about 20 kids. They knew exactly what it was. I get there, man, and our kids are sitting down. They're being loud because they're kids. It's the end of the season event. Now, I did call the mother of the guy who quit the team. And I made sure, and I told her, your husband, not husband, they're not together, but I said, this kid's father's not invited, but I wanted the kid to come because he hadn't done anything wrong in the situation. And Maya and John, they know the backdrop of that story. The kid showed up. All the kids, when they saw him, they yelled his name. It was a moment, right? So we having fun. And then the lady who's serving the table says to my team mom that the patrons are complaining that they're too loud and they're spreading their germs. And
what?
Bro, it was a moment where you realize that even in 2020, and so that's why I said I'm gonna bring it full circle. Even in 2020, they look at us as though something is wrong with us, like we're germ infested or something. Like, first of all, my kids, after they were done eating pizza, put on their masks. My kids stayed in their seat the entire time. My kids, while you might not think this, looking at them and seeing, East Orange where we play on their sweatshirts, my kids respond to coach's voice. So I say something and my kids respond. So I was trying to order 2 pizzas to go. And she was like, yeah, you guys got to go. I told you it was till 6:15. You got to go. I was like, can I order a pizza? She's like, yeah, you can, but you got to be in line. You just got to get the kids out of here. And I said, look, it's like y'all been trying to get us out of here since we came. I'm not adding a single penny to the 18% gratuity that you baked into that bill. But more importantly, I'm probably never stepping foot in here again because I've spent so much money in here. You guys are treating 8 and 9-year-old kids like they're criminals. And here's how it comes full circle. And that's why today's episode is called Black and White Friday. To that head referee who looked at me as though I was criminal. I was an angry black man. To Star Tavern, who treated my kids as though they were on their way to a criminal lifestyle. Stop judging a book by its cover. I'll never give you a single dollar of my money again because you mistreated some kids that were just trying to have a moment and celebrate each other for the last time. I was offended by it. My team mom was offended by it. But luckily, 8 and 9-year-olds are still too naive and still too innocent to pick up on the trash treatment in which you displayed.
Oh, we need to start a hashtag.
Yeah.
No, we need to blow them up, bro.
I bet that ref delivers pizzas for them.
Yeah, that ref very well might. And I was gonna let it go, man. And I really was gonna let it go. The same thing with the referee. I was gonna let it go, but I'm like, we let it go too often.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we just let it go too often. She didn't realize that I had spent I don't know how much money in that establishment. She didn't realize
care, and that's the bad part.
And didn't care about it. So so each of us that has a platform.
Bob, when you said what you said to her,
she was like, she was silent, basically, because in her mind, people are used to just taking this treatment.
Yeah,
and my customers are saying, "Well, lady, I'm your customer now. I'm a paying customer. I'm sitting in this restaurant eating your food. Mm-hmm. So the difference between me and that white couple over there is nominal. Like." The only difference is
I'm
they're sitting
for 18 people.
Yeah, I was about to say you pay for more.
Yeah.
You know what? I hate to sound like a classist, I hate to sound like a trash ass human, but bitch, you serving me. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Right.
You relying on my tips. If I'm not generous, your ass probably can't put gas in your car tonight, bitch. You better tread lightly.
Next time I'm bringing you with me. That was right after surgery because I left from.
We need Maya free, not
right. Yeah, we're gonna keep it a Facebook jail. I don't want it in a real jail. But
Facebook jail is one thing.
I left from picking Maya up from her surgery, and I rushed over there. And Maya, you recall how excited I was to get my young men together for one last time. And so for that unsavory feeling, for that establishment, those servers to make my kids, and they didn't feel a certain way, but the team mom did. They didn't feel a certain way, but I did, knowing that I put them in this position to be treated such a way. And so I'm thankful. Back to being thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity to lead those young people, and I'm thankful for all of you guys for the support of the show. Please continue to like. Please continue to comment. Please continue to share. It costs you 3 seconds and nothing more. And that's all I have, man. From the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, we really appreciate
before you go, man, I just got to commend you, man, because it would have been hard for me not to fuck you hoe.
Yeah.
Seriously, man, like you are a great example for those young men.
Yep.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, brother.
Going to be out there, bro. But, we need more brothers like you out there, man. Just
appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
You didn't go for it on 4th down on your own 25 in the
No, I did.
Okay.
that's the litmus test. Like as long as you
I just want to make sure you didn't go for it late. Thanks for having me on, guys. I love the show. I love watching you guys.
Let me give you your proper respect. Big Flow, one half of the Big Flow and O show is a podcast they've been doing. Big Flow's also doing some independent work, man. So y'all make sure y'all support this brother. Good dude. We didn't go to school together, but you would never know. We are friends as though we went to college together. We didn't go to school together because he's older than me. Just for the record.
If he want his ratings up, he needs to have Maya on his show.
We're gonna hit a certain demographic. I might have to have Maya on the show. See what she
Right. Bring Maya on, and I'm sure she'll be entertaining. Superhero DJ John Quick, the Maestro. We got the Maverick, Miss Majestic Maya. We have our missing link today, Big Flow. I am your MC, B. Brown ESQ, aka the Ball, aka the Mountain South, aka Mr. Success Celebration. This has been another episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, Black and White Friday edition. Love y'all, man. Peace. Please like, please comment, please share. Enjoy. Don't spend all your money. If you're struggling to pay your bills, don't spend that money today, y'all. All right. We out. Peace.